Only with the #1 station in the streets.
Now I'm doing it.
Streetz 94.5.
All right, here, great filmmaker, director. He goes by the name of John Singleton. How are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, good, good. And then this other guy, he's from London. Tell everybody your name.
Damson Idris.
Damson Idris.
Yes.
So are like you kin to like Idris Elba or something like that?
Oh no.
He's from London too.
Oh yeah, but it's his first name. It's my last name. Yeah, I'm just Damson. I'm just Damson. Damn, son.
Y'all do look alike though, right?
No
Yeah,
way.
That's
He's a 10 out of 10. I'm like a 2.
Oh my
Speaking of
goodness.
Tupac,
Okay. You know we have to ask you about that. I cannot let you get out of here
Savage.
without asking you about that.
So-
Okay, give me your take on that. Do you think that, because the way he put it, he put you in a bad light?
This is the first movie he's ever done. I stand by what I've said from the beginning. If you want to go over my social media, these people stole the rights to Tupac's story from his mother. It's been around for 2.5 years. They disrespected Pac's mom, Afeni Shakur, God rest her soul, and you know, Pac would not make the. Pac's soul is so powerful even now that he would not allow people who would disrespect his family to make a movie. They just said, we just gonna make a movie. So they just made it, you know, Pac as a rap star. They didn't understand like where he came from and what that was in terms of being a child of the revolution and how much of a responsibility that was for him. They just was making a movie about a rapper. You know, it was that movie should have been a cultural event, not like some Lifetime thing. The last time me and Pac were together, we was talking about doing Baby Boys. You can go back like 20 years in writing and everything and stuff, and you can see and everything the tracks of me and Pac Nation. Like we was like brothers. We fought, you know what I mean? But we'd make up for it. But anybody that really cared about Pac was smashed up because of stuff that he was going through to try to help him. You know what I mean? Why would I want to disparage Pac's name? And I'm working with his mama.
Right.
I'm the one who's writing for the Shakur family. Like, so why would you say, like, and what's really funny is, until last week, until 50 clapped back on everybody, and like, everybody was like, oh my God.
I seen the comment on
Exactly. They were like, oh, we're sorry, John Singleton, but it take 50 to do that, and 50's my man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and then Jada chimed in and stuff. Like, these dudes, like, they totally disrespected his legacy by making, first of all, a bad film, but they weren't responsible in thinking about what this meant for this generation, what this movie could mean.
Meant a lot.
So a lot of people went to see the movie off as curiosity, but they just, you know, they were disappointed.
You know, of course, you know, he's making these allegations, you know, about you wanting to put the rape scene of Tupac and have Miss Afeni Shakur in a threesome.
I'm not going to talk about what, like, everybody's so concerned with what I was going to do with the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they made their movie. If I make a movie, you'll see, whatever. Everything I worked in that script was approved by Afeni Shakur. You know what I mean? They were mad, those people, because they found out I was working with Afeni. See what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want me working with Afeni. You understand what I'm saying? I have no reason to lie. They did not want me working with Afeni. They wanted to push her totally aside and not have her have any input at all with this stuff. And once they found out that we was working together, that's when they got nervous.
Wow. Now, have you seen the movie as of yet?
I've
You have
seen
not.
the movie. No, I know exactly what they did. They did. They couldn't do nothing from my script. They, you know, so they just did it from the cast of white boys that wrote those other two drafts. They did the same thing at this movie, worse than what they did with James. Everything I've done over my career since I started, you know, one of my early 20s has been on deck and official.
Yeah,
everything. You know what I mean? Just like this TV show is official. So it's like you look at that and you compare it to what I've done. Like, it don't even compare. They can't even. Those people should not even be able to walk out the house, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? As anybody see them on the street, you know, that really have love for Pac, they should be like, make them go back in the house.
Okay.
That's as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
2.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you guys have this new film. New show. FX's Snowfall.
Yes.
Now tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, Snowfall actually happens in 1983 in Los Angeles.
Yay.
West Coast. And it's about cocaine and how, like, LA and the West Coast changed once cocaine took over Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay.
And this young man plays a street entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's a real fancy.
Wait a minute.
word
He plays a
for
he plays a
drug dealer.
what? Wait a minute.
A street entrepreneur.
Right,
Yeah.
a drug dealer.
Oh
so,
man, yeah.
But a street entrepreneur. We'll take that.
Yeah, so I play Franklin Saint. He's a young street entrepreneur from South Central LA, but he studied in the valley. So he's really intelligent because he's seen both worlds, and he's come to the conclusion that society's set up for him and people like him to fail. And for that reason, he has this inner resentment and pride towards the idea of having to change and conform in order to fit in. And he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be a mascot at some crappy office job. And he doesn't want to be seen as other in his community. So he uses cocaine as a way out.
Oh, wow.
I'd do the exact same thing if I was Franklin.
Okay, all right.
Playing, I wouldn't. Wow.
No, I was
You
like,
just
okay.
gonna go with that?
No, listen.
just gonna let
John, let me ask you a question. Like, is it hard transitioning from the actual movie, or is it easier transitioning from movie until, the show or television side?
I mean, it's just, for me, it's kind of the same thing. It's just at a quicker pace. TV's a quicker pace. You get to make a movie every like week. You know what I mean? Like, and so this was only like my third time doing TV. Before I did Empire, and then I did the People vs. O.J. Simpson, and I did this. So I love it. I love it. It's great. It's like you get to work with crazy cast like this dude.
Crazy cast. Okay, what other movies have you worked on?
Oh, nothing. I haven't done
This is
anything.
first thing.
This
ever.
is
my
this is
first
your
breakout.
first?
Yeah, first thing he's ever
So,
seen, man.
so what were you doing
I
beforehand?
acted about 4 years ago.
Okay.
I started out in a theatre in London, and I did a couple of TV in London as well. Like, we have shows like Doctors and Casualty. I did stuff like that. I did a couple of movies. But I always had in my head that my career wasn't going to start until I got to this soil right here.
Okay.
So I like to say this is the beginning.
How did you guys hook up, you and John Singleton?
He auditioned for it, and he's it's funny because I didn't know he was from London at first and everything and stuff. And tell him how you researched how you were talking the show.
Oh man,
Listening to what music?
Man, I was listening to Tupac, I was listening to Ice Cube, Dub C, and then I show up first day, Snoop. I show up on the first day, and my dialect coach is Dub C, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta talk like this, you gotta talk like this."
So, Snowfall, FX. Of course, you guys have the screening tonight, but it is private, right? So, can we expect to see this on like Netflix or on demand
It's
or
on
what?
FX.
FX.
On FX. It's
Okay.
on FX.
FX.
July the 5th.
Okay, so but
10
if we miss it,
Don't worry about missing. July the 5th.
You get there,
Set
10
your
p.m.
DVR today.
all right. So once again, it comes on.
July the 5th.
Okay.
Everywhere.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. 10 p.m. All right.
FX.
All right. Other things are you working on? I heard you have something else coming on another station, but I know this is FX's. But I know you have some.
A show that just came up called Rebel. Was on
BET.
BET. Yeah. So I'm just working on several different projects.
Nice. What else? What else can you tell us about that we could look out for?
Nothing right now.
Oh
I'm not saying
goodness.
now. I'm not gonna reveal nothing right now.
Okay.
I got a lot of tricks in my bag.
Absolutely. All right. So we're just gonna keep that quiet. So what else do you have going on other than outside of the show?
Well, next I go back to England and I go to the 70s, which is a different time, and I'm playing a black skinhead. It's going to be a very dark movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
A black skinhead?
Yeah, it's directed by Adewale Agbaje, who was Echo in Lost. This is his directorial debut, and it's going to be an amazing story.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's completely different to Franklin.
Right.
But get used to Franklin first. July 5th, FX, 10
All right.
p.m.
Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Of course, I'll be at the screening tonight for FX's Snowfall. So, congratulations, guys.
Only with the #1 station in the streets.
Now doing it.
Streetz 94.5.